In the last lecture, we were trying to introduce and understand the basic aspect, basic features, and basic
what we
understanding
mean by
about the
foreign
foreign
exchange
exchange
market.
market, about the location, about the number of hours of trading, about the participants, and lastly, while ending our lecture, we discussed the type of transaction which used to take place in foreign exchange market, buying and selling. And in that respect also we said that buying and selling, that how the rates are being decided, how the rates are being decided. In that respect we have seen and we have discussed about the ready rates, spot rate, and the forward rate. And those who have missed, I just give a brief. Ready means a customer approached the bank today for buying foreign currency. Bank quote the rate, customer agrees, and the deal is executed. The rate at which the deal is executed is the ready rate or the cash rate. Next, the customer approached the bank for buying foreign currency. Bank quote the rate, and the execution of the deal of buying foreign currency take place after 2 days. It is known as spot rate, also known as value date. Spot rate is more popular word that we can say. And if I'm not wrong, maximum transactions of foreign exchange currencies deals at spot rate only. And thirdly, customer approach the bank for buying the foreign currency in some future date, maybe after a week, a month, a 2 month, a 3 month. The rate quoted by the customer will be today, but executed on the due date of future date, that will be your forward rate. So we have discussed three rates: ready rates, spot rate, and forward rate. And mostly we will deal in spot rate and forward rate. One more concept of foreign exchange dealing I want to bring here. That concept is known as forward margin. Very important. Try to understand it. These are the various concepts which I am trying to take up. If these concepts are clear, then I hope the conversion of currency will be easily understood and done by you. Because I always believe that practical is always based on theory aspect. And here we are doing theory just for the understanding, just for understanding the logic behind that why we are adding or subtracting or multiplying, from where the rate we have derived. That all I'm trying to take up. So the concept today I'm taking up is forward margin. Forward margin. Now listen, all of you. I talk about, I will take up or I will talk about two rates, spot rate and forward rate. As I said, spot rate is the rate after 2 days, and forward rate is the rate which is executed in some future date. That means we can say that there will always be a difference in spot rate and forward rate, because the spot rate is the value date, that means after 2 days, and forward rate is the rate after 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, or 6 months. That means 99%, 99% there will be variation in the spot rate and the forward rate. But 1% there is a possibility that spot rate and forward rate may be equal also. The reason being, as you are aware, that the rates of foreign currencies are dependent on number of factors, we say as demand and supply. That if the currency will be demanded more in the market, the rate may shoot up. If currency is not demanded, it may be available at a lower rate or at the base rate. But as I said, that the chances exist that the spot rate, quite possible, suppose the spot rate for USD is rupees 50, the spot rate of USD is rupees 50. So we always think that the value of Indian rupee depreciates. The value of Indian rupee always depreciate in comparison to USD. If we try to see the past data, then we can say forward rate can be after 2 months, it can be 55 or 56 or 57. That means depreciated value of Indian rupee. But there is always a possibility that when rupees 50 in the spot rate and rupees 50 could also be the forward rate. That means after 2 months, the forward rate we can say. But this possibility is rare, but we cannot deny this possibility. So when spot rate and forward rate are at equal, when spot rate and forward rate are equal, then we say that forward rate is at par, PAR. When spot rate and forward rate is equal, we say forward rate is at par of the spot rate. No doubt. But when there is a difference in spot rate and forward rate, when there is a gap between spot rate and forward rate, that gap, that difference between the spot rate and forward rate is known as forward margin. That means, in nutshell, the difference between the spot rate and forward rate is called as forward margin. Now, two cases can arise. Either the forward rate is higher than the spot rate, or forward rate can be lower than the spot rate. That means, as I said, if the spot rate is rupees 50, there is a possibility that forward rate can be rupees 55, or there is also a possibility that the forward rate can be rupees 48 also. If forward rate is rupees 55, that means foreign exchange, that means USD is costly in terms of Indian rupee, because in the spot rate we were paying rupees 50 for 1 USD, and in forward rate we are paying rupees 55 for 1 USD. That means 5 rupees extra. So we can say that forward rate is costly as compared to spot rate when it is higher than the spot rate, and vice versa, that when spot rate is rupees 50 and forward rate is rupees 48, it means forward rate is cheaper. Forward rate is cheaper than the spot rate, because in spot we are paying rupees 50 for 1 USD, and in forward we are paying rupees 48 for 1 USD, 2 rupee less. So that means if the possibility of difference exists, if the possibility of difference exists between the forward rate and the spot rate, then the difference is called as forward margin, and that forward margin can be at costlier or it can be cheaper. If it is costlier, if it is costlier, it is means forward rate. If forward rate is costlier, it is known as at premium. And if forward rate is cheaper, if forward rate is cheaper, it is known as at discount. So in nutshell, the difference between the spot rate and forward rate is known as forward margin, and forward margin can be at premium or it can be at discount. If it has discount, it is known as forward discount, and if it has premium, it is known as forward premium. So you can say if forward premium, if forward margin exists, then it can be of two. It can be in terms of two form. It can be forward premium or it can be forward discount. If it is premium, that means it is costlier, and if it discount, it means it is cheaper. Now one question arises, that why it is at premium or discount. Number of factors are responsible. Number of factors are responsible for bringing a difference in the spot rate and forward rate. Like, means why the forward margin exists. Demand and supply, as we have discussed. Speculation, the reason can be the balance of payment. Inflation rate can be a reason. The contract or surplus supply of money in the economy can be a reason. National income, it could be a reason. The political factor, economic factor, all these can be the reason for fluctuation in the exchange rate, which is bringing difference in the spot rate and the forward rate. Because as we are aware that the foreign currency rate never remain the same, it always will fluctuate. Question arises that what are the factors on the basis of which the fluctuation take place, and just now we have named a few factors, that due to the existence or due to change in these factors, there is a possibility that the foreign exchange rate may also vary from time to time, and variation in the foreign exchange rate will bring difference in the spot rate and the forward rate, and that difference will be known as forward margin, and that margin can be at forward premium or it can be at forward discount. But one more important, I'm not saying that these factors which I have named, they are not important, they are very important. But along with that, one mathematical calculation factor I'm trying to which I feel which bring variation in the spot rate and the forward rate is the interest rate. Interest prevailing in home country and interest prevailing in foreign country. If there will be a variation in the interest means the bank rate. If there will be a variation in the bank rate, automatically there will be variation in the, or we can say automatically there will be existence of forward margin. Now listen how. First of all, one principle you should keep in mind that a currency issued, remember, a currency issued by one country always, or a currency issued in one country may have its transaction in number of countries, but the physical existence of that currency will always remain in the home country. I'm trying to say a currency can have debit and credit balance. A currency means, here I am saying the foreign currency. A foreign currency may have debit and credit balance in number of balance sheet of various countries where the transaction has been taken up in that currency. But physically, that currency will always be available in the home country. How? Suppose an exporter is exporting some goods to Japan, and in terms of payment, Indian exporter is supposed to receive 10,000 Japanese yen. 10,000 Japanese yen. And suppose the Indian exporter is XYZ company. So XYZ company, for exporting on certain date, will receive 10,000 Japanese yen from a Japan buyer. Now, what this Indian exporter will do? He will not try to take up Japanese yen in cash. Reason being, Japanese yen is not being used in our home market. There is no transaction in India with respect to Japanese yen. So what he will do? He will try to open a foreign currency account. Suppose he is an account with SBI. He will open a foreign currency account with SBI and try to deposit Japanese yen with SBI in expectation that he will receive some interest on that. So he will deposit 10,000 in SBI account, foreign currency SBI account. SBI, being a business company, deals in lending and borrowing. Now SBI will have to wait for a customer. SBI will have to wait for a customer to approach SBI for borrowing 10,000 Japanese yen. That means when the borrower of 10,000 Japanese yen will approach to SBI bank, SBI is going to lend 10,000 Japanese yen for a specific period and try to generate some interest on that lending, which will be shared with the exporter later on. But when this borrower will come, SBI is not aware. He may approach tomorrow, day after, a week after, a month after, a 6 month after, or he never approach. And if it approaches also, he may have the requirement of 1000 Japanese yen, 2000 Japanese yen, 5000 Japanese yen, or more than 10,000. That means the rarest combination will be that when any borrower approaches the bank for borrowing 10,000 Japanese yen on the same day when the exporter has deposited, that means he comes on same day and asks for the same units of foreign currency. Rarest combination. So bank will be in problem. So what the bank will do? SBI will try to open an account in Japan. What the SBI will do? SBI will open their account in Japanese bank. And as the exporter deposit foreign currency of Japanese yen with the SBI, SBI will try to deposit that 10,000 Japanese yen in the Japanese bank. Only the book entry will be here. And while depositing Japanese yen in Japan, SBI is going to generate interest. SBI is going to generate interest on that deposit, and that interest will be shared with the exporter. And Japanese yen deposited in Japan will be used by Japanese bank because it is the local currency there. So that is why I said the physical existence of a foreign currency always, physical existence of the currency always exists in their issue company or issue country. The country which make the issue, that only will have the physical possession of that currency. Now let us understand the problem of SBI one more time. Now if 1000 exporter approach the bank, SBI, 1000 exporter approach the bank, that is SBI, for depositing their foreign currency. And these foreign currencies do not belong to one country, but they belong to 100 countries. It can be Japanese yen, German mark, or Malaysian ringgit, USD, Australian dollar, euro, pound, dinar, real. That means exporters are exporting in different countries, and whatever the currency they are getting, they will try to deposit with SBI, and SBI is supposed to open a foreign account in the respective country of which the currency they have got. That means SBI will have to open many foreign currency account in many countries. It will be a difficult task for SBI for managing unnecessary so many accounts. If every exporter is dealing in USD, SBI will try to open an account in American bank, no problem. But as more foreign currencies other than USD are being deposited with the SBI, and SBI is supposed not to retain that foreign currency because that is not going to generate any income for SBI, SBI is compelled to make its foreign currency deposit in the home country which has issued that foreign currency. But it will be a tough for SBI for monitoring, managing, and regulating so many accounts in different countries. So what SBI will do? SBI will open only a single foreign currency account in the London market. London market is known as the World International Market. London market is known as the World International Market. So SBI will open a foreign currency account with London Bank. And whatever the different types of foreign currency which are being deposited as SBI, SBI will deposit all different currencies of various countries into one account of London Bank. That means whether the SBI receives Japanese yen or USD or American dollar or Malaysian ringgit, different currencies will be deposited with London Bank only. And this London Bank will open their account in their parent countries. That means London Bank is going to London Bank is going to manage the various foreign currency account in various countries. So the problem will be only for one bank, that is London Bank. And London Bank is having expertise in maintaining foreign currency account of various banks of the world. So in this way, SBI is getting rid of the problem of maintaining different currencies, foreign currency account in number of countries. They will open a single account with London Bank, and London Bank is going to make the deposit in the parent country itself. That means exporter will deposit with SBI, SBI will deposit with London Bank, that is international market, and London Bank will deposit in Japan. The route has been widened, but it is easier. Everybody is going to get the share in between. Everybody is going to get the share in between for maintaining those foreign currencies. But ultimately, the country which make the issue of foreign currency, that foreign currency will be have the physical existence in the home country itself, and everywhere it will have only the book entry. Debit credit means if the Japanese bank have issued, that means we can say very few quantity of foreign currencies go for physical dealing, rest remain in electronic dealing. Now this is the one concept I have told. Now I will try to take up that why about the forward margin. Now the rate in Japan is suppose 10% and rate in India is 5%. That means there is variation in the rate, and that variation will be there in forward margin, which can bring forward premium or forward discount. If the bank is going to generate, what bank means? SBI. I have deposited my foreign currency with SBI. If SBI will able to get, if SBI will able to get more profit from Japanese bank, then that profit will be passed to the customer, and the foreign currency at forward rate will be at discount to the customer. And if the bank is going to generate loss, if bank is going to generate loss while depositing with Japan, then loss will be shared with the customer, and the foreign currency will be try to cheat their customers. If they generate profit on the investment of their customer, that profit will be passed to the customer. And if they generate loss on the investment of their customer, then loss will also be passed to the customer. If the profit is being passed, then automatically the foreign currency will be cheaper to the customer. And if loss is passed, automatically foreign currency will be costlier to the customer. It will be at discount. It will be at premium. So you can say when a bank generate profit from the investment of the customer in foreign country, then that profit will be passed to the customer in home country and bringing the foreign currency rate to be lower. That it means forward margin will be at discount. The example which I have taken, rupees 50 comes to rupees 48 as forward rate. The reason being 2 rupees has been reduced by the bank. 2 rupees has been reduced by the bank for the future date. Reason being the bank was able to generate income. The bank is able to generate income from the deposit in foreign market. That income has been passed to the customer. That is why rupees 50 has been reduced to rupees 48. And if the bank is not going to generate any income, bank will face the loss, then it will share the loss to the customer, and from 50 it will pass to rupees 55. That means you can say when foreign currency, or we can say that when the rate of interest, when I repeat, when the rate of interest in foreign bank is higher than the home bank, when the rate of interest is higher than the home bank, then the margin is passed to the customer in the form of discount. And if the rate of interest is lower in foreign country as compared to home bank, then margin is passed to the customer in terms of premium. So premium. So what we can say, always remember one thing, spot rate plus premium. Spot rate plus premium will be forward margin, will be forward rate, and spot rate minus discount will be forward rate. So always remember, premium will always be added to spot rate. Premium will always be added to spot rate to arrive at forward rate, and discount will always be deducted from the spot rate to arrive at the forward rate. That means if the bank is having gain, that gain will be passed to the customer in terms of discount, and discount will be deducted from the spot rate, and the forward rate will be at discount. And if the bank faces the loss will be passed to the customer. It will be in the form of premium. Premium will be added to the spot rate, and the forward rate will be at costlier. It will be at premium. So always remember, forward premium will always be added, and forward discount will always be deducted from the spot rate to get the forward rate.